Hey guys, welcome to Marytown, population 215 as of this recording. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, my name is Susan, and on my channel I do paper crafts. And right now I'm mostly into junk journals and junk journal supplies. And for a few months now, I've been binge watching fairy forest junk journals. I just can't get enough of them. And my favorite kind are the ones that as soon as they open the cover, you just feel like you're entering into the whole fairy forest world. You feel like you're just transported uh, into a whole different place. And that's what I was kind of aiming for when I made this little journal. And this is a little guy, about 3.5, on the cover, and then about 4.25 if you count all the little stuff poking out. About a 1.5-inch spine, and about 5.25 in height. For the cover, I used green velvet, and I was going to leave it just plain, but then I decided that it needed something, so I added this digital print because it kind of looks like an entryway, so it'd give you an idea that you're entering into the fairy forest. And I attached these little brads. This was an afterthought also, so this is not attached by brad to the paper. I just kind of glued it on. But anyway, and it's held together with these bulldog clips and a bit of chain. I think I got this from Hobby Lobby, and it's just got some little bronze colored leaves on it. And so without further ado, here we go. Okay. I may be adding a little bit more, but that's kind of my problem. I can never find a good stopping place, and sometimes I overdo it. So probably I should just stop while I'm ahead here. I had considered selling this on Etsy, but I'm not going to for this reason. Right off the bat, you can see a mistake in construction. This first signature, I had changed my mind about how I was going to bind it, and so it's a little bit wobbly, and I don't know. I feel like keeping this one anyway. So I'm not going to sell anything on Etsy until I'm convinced that it's 100%, perfect as far as not having to worry about anything falling apart. So anyway, page 2. Just a couple of little tags in here. Tiny little bit of writing space. This is not loaded with writing space, I will say that. It's mostly, for me, it's just kind of a mood journal. It's just not so much about writing. There are a few places here. I guess you could write something there. I guess you could write here. Or there. I guess there really are quite a few places you could write something. I may add something to this page, but I kind of just like it the way it is. And I just tucked this little thing in there at the last minute just to show that this is a place that you could add something of your own if you wanted to. I mean, I'm talking like somebody's going to own it, and nobody is, but anyway, the next time I make one. Okay, so the idea here is that a girl? I guess she's looking at the butterfly, and little squirrel, he's peeking out of his little squirrel hole, and he's watching them. And then you can still kind of see the little fairy through the hole. And this actually was from a box of carbonated water. I cut it out with a die and layered it up a few times, and just alcohol inked the outside. And there's kind of a happy accident. The glue took up the color of the alcohol ink, and it kind of shows through, but I like it. I don't know. It's like who you say? Oh, Bob Ross. Yeah, happy accidents. And the fox, he's got his eye on the squirrel. But and I added some Wink of Stella. I don't know if it really shows, but it kind of gives his eyes a bit of a sparkle. I think I did that on most of the eyes in here. So another just a forest scene. Another little secret writing spot there. I'm sorry if the camera is jiggling. I'll try not to wobble it too much. Just use some embroidery floss for those. And I almost called this Fairies Through the Seasons because it does, but the only seasons it really shows are summer and autumn. But there you can really see how it's just kind of wobbly. Okay, so now we're starting the second signature. And everything from here on is in real snug. You'll learn as you go, right? So, okay. And that I just used an embossing pen and went around, and I don't know, in this light, it might almost be better to, if it really shows, it's really kind of pretty shiny gold. And this is some mulberry paper. That's neat. I don't have good luck at all sewing because my needle jams constantly. And I don't know why it does that, but usually it doesn't work. But this time it did. So I took this vellum and printed one of the images onto the vellum and then cut it down and sewed in the bottom pocket and just added some of this greenery to the bottom. And so that worked. I was happy about that. So this cute little guy here, he's looking down at the fox. And flowers. A tiny, tiny little bear. And he's watching all of them. And there's room if you wanted to, well, I keep saying you, no one else is ever going to own this, but anyway, I may stick something else in the pockets, but okay, this is one of my favorite pages, this middle of the second signature. I'm not sure how well it shows up, but this is a star, and she is throwing fairy dust onto the little deer and the little bird. And I hope it shows up. And then it just added some of those same leaf metal charms. Little pocket. And here's the other side of that vellum page. And I don't know if I showed the charm on the other one, but that's just a real pretty little pink ladybug with a little gem. A little bunny. Some mushrooms. just a little lake scene. And I liked this. She looks like she's hopping over the fence, over the leaf fence. And I like that with vellum, this is my first time doing anything with vellum, that the image shows through kind of faintly on the back, and even the image of her hopping over. I don't know if you can see it, but that kind of shows through too. That was neat. Just the other side of that mulberry paper, and a different image on this side of the embossed one. And then summer pleasures, and okay, on all of these fairies, wherever they have flowers in their hair or they're carrying flowers, I added some wink of Stella to make them sparkle a little bit. This is the little pocket. It doesn't have anything in it right now, but okay. And this, I guess I could have shown this when I showed the outside cover. It could be a dangle on the outside. It's permanently attached. It's not removable. But on the inside, you can place it anywhere you want as a little placeholder. And that's just a little bit of sari silk and some more of those bronze charms. On these lanterns, I added a bit of the wink of Stella too, to make it look like the lights are sparkling. And this is some of the same velvet from the material I used for the cover. And there's no, these actually almost could have been a belly band, but they stay. I don't think they're going to fall through because of the things. A little more of that mulberry paper, and just a little writing spot, another writing spot. I guess there's a fair amount of writing space in here. And there's the middle of the last signature. And I like it. I think he's a bit smitten. He's watching her dancing away. She seems completely unaware of anyone's presence. She's just enjoying her fairy dance. And little deer, and I guess that's a deer, little cat and bird. And these are just little polymer clay beads. I didn't make them. Okay. And she seems to be deep in thought, and he's watching her thinking. And that's just a little shell charm and a little iridescent leaf charm. Or the mulberry paper. And I don't know what paper this is. I like that it's very, very thin. I just took and burnt some of the edges to give it kind of an old look. And it's just a little, I actually got this at the Dollar Tree. It's not really eyelash trim. It's kind of a cross between eyelash trim and just very, very fine yarn. And then this little resin flower. And I love the saying, life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale, Hans Christian Andersen. And I did this on Pick Monkey. Just added those words to it, and then went around with the embossing pen again here and added that gold embossing to the edges of the paper. I really love that effect. And there you have it, the last page. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone stopping by. And if you'd like to hit the like and or subscribe button on the way out the door, that would mean a whole lot to me. And I'll see you again with the next time. Have a wonderful day or evening, guys. Bye bye.